So yeah, today we're going through some Pokemon TCG cards from the new set Team Rocket Glory, or Glory of Team Rocket, whatever. So without further ado, let's get to it. Starting with Moltres. Moltres for 1 fire, 2 colorless. Once during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 50 less damage from attacks. Also, second attack for 1 fire, 3 colorless. Discard Team Rocket energy from this Pokemon. If you do, discard your opponent's active Pokemon and all cards attached to it. However, this is not the same as knocking it out, so you take 0 prize cards from this, but it does get rid of what they need. So, then we have Blaziken. Blaziken for 2 colorless, 70 damage. 2 fire, 1 colorless. Discard 2 energies from this Pokemon. The attack also does 120 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Articuno here, with the ability to prevent all effects of your opponent's attacks done to this Pokemon, done to your basic Team Rocket Pokemon in play. The attack for 1 water, 2 colorless. If this Pokemon has a Team Rocket energy attached, it does 60 more damage. Now the Clan Pearl line I originally dismissed, but actually has potential. Such being as this, during your opponent's next turn, it takes 10 less damage, which is not that great, but when you pair it to Huntail, which allows you to, if one of your water type Pokemon's knocked out, instead of discarding the energy, you put it into your hand instead of the discard pile. Then it has 1 water, 2 colorless, wave splash, 80 damage. Now when you pair that with the Gorbis, this attack does 30 damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. Before doing damage, you may attach any number of water energy from your hand to this Pokemon. So you can potentially snipe for a lot of damage if you had the Huntail effect. It works very well in unison. Zapdos for 2 colorless does 30 damage. Move one of your energies from your opponent's active Pokemon to one of their bench. For 1 lightning, 2 colorless, it does 60 damage, plus if it has any Team Rocket energy on, it does 60 more. Team Rocket's Ampharos has an ability when your opponent plays this Pokemon from a hand to evolve one of it, put 4 damage counters on. So as long as he's out, when your opponent evolves, you can put 4 damage counters on that Pokemon. Then for his attack, for 1 lightning, 2 colorless, does 140 damage. Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX. This Pokemon can't attack unless it has 4 or fewer. Sorry, let me restart. This Pokemon can't attack unless it has 4 or more Team Rocket Pokemon in play. Its attack for 2 psychic, 1 colorless does 160 damage, and it does 60 more for each energy you discard. Discard up to 2 energies from your bench Pokemon. The attack does 60 more damage for each one you discard this way. Then you have Team Rocket's Wobbuffet. So 1 psychic, 1 colorless. Move all damage from one of your bench Team Rocket Pokemon and move it to your opponent's active. Then you got 1 psychic, 2 colorless, and it does 70 damage. So potentially pretty well potential there. Primeape here, your opponent switches their active with one of their bench. This attack does 30 damage to the new active Pokemon. So it's like boss's orders, but they get to pick. So there's that downside. Now, however, when you come to evolve it into Nihilape, if this Pokemon has at least 2 damage counters on it, the attack does 120 more damage to your opponent's active. And his attack for 2 fighting energy. This Pokemon cannot attack for the next turn. It does 160. Team Rocket's Tyranitar. For its ability, during Pokemon checkup, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, put 2 damage counters on your opponent's basic Pokemon. Then its attack, for 1 fighting, 3 colorless, discard 1 energy from your opponent's active Pokemon, and it does 180 damage. So, not bad. Next up, we have Regirock EX. 1 colorless energy. Attach up to 2 basic fighting energies from your disc ball to this Pokemon. Then its second attack for 1 fighting, 3 colorless. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Stage 2 Pokemon, it takes 140 more damage, so the attack does 140 to begin with. Then we have Crobat. Crobat has an ability. Play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon. You may put 2 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon. So potentially, you can evolve and put 2 damage counters on it. It would pair nicely with something like Regirock. I think it was Regirock that had the ability. Sorry, I forget things easily. 2 darkness energies. You may put this Pokemon back into your hand. Discard all attached cards to this Pokemon. So potentially you can keep doing this and keep evolving them up to it to put more damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon. There's always that strat. Okay, next up we're looking at Team Rocket's Weezing. For 1 dark, 1 colorless. This attack does 40 damage for each of your Weezing in play. So it's one of those that builds off of each other. Sneasel. Sneasel for 1 dark energy, 20 damage. 2 dark energy. Attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon for each damage counter already on that Pokemon. And it does 20 damage to begin with. So potentially, if you have one with a lot of damage on it, you can hit for double that. Zamazenta's up next to look at. 2 steel, 1 colorless. During your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon takes any damage from your opponent's attack, even if it's knocked out, put as many damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. So you attack it with a high-powered attack, knock it out, and then they put the same amount of damage counters on the Pokemon that knocked it out. And then we have Team Rocket's Meowth. Team Rocket's Meowth, 1 colorless. Choose 1 random card from your opponent's hand. Your opponent reveals it and shuffles it into their deck. Another attack for 1 colorless. Flip 3 coins. This attack does 20 damage for each heads. Team Rocket's Persian is up next. For 2 colorless, your opponent reveals the top 10 cards of their deck. You may choose an attack from a Pokemon you find there and use it for this attack. Your opponent shuffles the revealed card into their deck. So it's kind of like Mew, but you use your opponent's random attack you find there. So then 3 colorless, your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused, and it does 140 damage. Let's get into some items. Team Rocket's Pokeball. Flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for an evolution of Team Rocket's Pokemon. Reveal it and put it into your hand. If tails, search your deck for a basic Team Rocket Pokemon. Reveal it, put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck. Team Rocket's Venture Bomb. Flip a coin. If heads, put 2 damage counters on your opponent's active. If tails, put 2 damage counters on your active. Potentially a toss-up to see what happens. Team Rocket's Receiver. Search your deck for 1 supporter Pokemon with Team Rocket in the name. Reveal it and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Now to supporters. Team Rocket's Arena? I don't know. I can't read. Draw a card until you have 5 in your hand. If all of your Pokemon are Team Rocket Pokemon, draw until you have 8 cards in your hand instead. Then you have Team Rocket's Archer. You can use this card only if any of your Team Rocket Pokemon were knocked out in your opponent's last turn. Each player shuffles a hand to their deck and draws until you have 5 cards. Your opponent draws 3. Giovanni. Team Rocket's Giovanni. Switch your active Team Rocket Pokemon with one of your bench. If you do, switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. So potentially it's basically boss's orders on both sides. So you switch yours and you switch theirs. Not the worst in the world. Team Rocket's Patrol, yeah, I'm going to go with that. Patrol. Search your deck for a trainer card, reveal it and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. Nothing that crazy. Team Rocket's Proton. You may use this card even if you go on your first turn. Search your deck with 3 basic Team Rocket Pokemon, reveal them, put them in your hand, shuffle your deck. So it's a great card to have because you can easily get your first 3 Team Rocket Pokemon on the bench and you can use it going first, so there's always that potential. Well, those are the cards, I guess. So thank you for watching. This is TZ Cinema. I'll see you in the next one. Till next time. Bye.